What's up, traders? This is Matt with Conservative Trades. What a wacky, crazy, really just mind-blowing day today. And it all started this morning on Wayfair. We're going to go through quite a trade on Wayfair that actually started in pre-market. Now, as you can see, I'm ending the day up $112, and I'd be ending the day up $224 had I not tried my luck on CHGG as many times as I did. As a matter of fact, this stock just ate me alive multiple times. I took a couple stabs at it and just couldn't get my finger on the pulse with this one. Just couldn't get a good read on it. But Wayfair, as you can see, the biggest winner of the day, and it really should have been much more than that. But I'm going to go ahead and show you what happens. Let me pull out my studies and executions here. Show executions. There we go. So you can see this morning it started here. I had come in. There was a huge run up on Wayfair. Huge run up. So I didn't get in on any of this here. And then it had this other major run up. It had this other major run up. And I went ahead and decided to just get in 25 shares. 25 shares right here. And what I really wanted to do was I wanted to see if we could just get a quick move back down here, a couple bucks, and I would have just been fine making, 50, 75 bucks off of it. I didn't know if it was going to come back and maybe even test some of these levels. I figure if I can get a $3, $4 move on 25 shares, I could maybe even make $100 on that. But I probably would have only taken a $50 to $75 win on that. So I first got in here right at 160. It was right at 160. Well, it kept going against me, and when I build a position, I'm fine to continue to add to it, as long as I know that the fundamentals are decent and the technicals are going to be weighing more in my favor. And that's pretty much what I was banking on here, because when it came up here, a whole nother $5 up to 165 is where I added again. So I waited for a $5 move to jump in with another 25 shares. And at one point it had come all the way down here, and I could have taken profit. I could have taken maybe 50, 70, maybe even $80 of profit at one point, somewhere between $50 to $80 on this 50 shares, because it brought my average up to roughly 163 something. So, I could have even taken maybe even $100 at one point, but that wasn't the look I was waiting for. And here's why: because Wayfair was showing that, first of all, they did not have the best earnings report. Secondly, they had a very high short float interest. So to me, this was nothing but just some massive short squeeze. This was just a massive, massive short squeeze. Look here on the daily. Look at how high this came up. I mean, it was just coming up, and I knew it could possibly even test these levels back here and break through all-time highs. But I knew it was a short squeeze. The earnings report was not great. It just wasn't great. There was nothing spectacular about it. And in this kind of a market, when so many people have lost money on all their stocks, you don't think there's going to be profit taken up here? You don't think investors aren't going to come in and start taking profit? And so I was just calling the bluff. But I added in up here. Well, it continued to move against me. And so I added again at another $5. Another 25 shares here at 170. Another 25 shares here at 173.69. I didn't quite let it go the whole $5 up here, because I was really building my position. And by this point, I think I had 100 shares at roughly 167. I want to say it might have been 168 average. But it came up here and it blew past, it broke through all-time highs. And I just thought to myself, this has got to be a short squeeze. This is a pre-market short squeeze. There's at any minute, a ton of selling is going to take over Wayfair. And honestly, I didn't expect for it to get a bounce here. I thought that, you were going to have people FOMOing in all the way up here at 183, and that it was just going to come crashing all the way back down here to, at least this area here around 165, and then eventually maybe there'd be a pullback and then a move all the way back down here to the 150s. I sincerely thought Wayfair was going to get in at the 150s. But guys, all that to say, you're looking 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150. I had 150 shares at one point with a roughly, I think, 172 average, I want to say, maybe 171, 172, 173 average maybe. But what really caught me off guard is it came down here and then started getting bought back up again when at the opening bell. At the opening bell. This was 9:30. This was the action on 9:30, guys. And look at this. Look at this volume here. Look at this volume. Okay, so all this volume comes in and there's all this buying, but yet it forms this wick, which tells me that a lot of this volume here is, even though it's a green volume bar, a lot of it is actually red. A lot of it is actually sellers coming in and taking profit, and they should. They should. But all I know is it couldn't break up here. Well, then it comes up on this candle, and this is where I started getting nervous because it broke out past this previous candle, but it got slammed down. It got slammed down, and this ended up being a sell volume bar, but it wasn't, the volume had died off a lot from what we saw here. So I was a little bit nervous, guys, and so on this candle right here, I sold half my position, and I was down $900 on that. I was down $900 on selling out half my position. But I had to do it because I didn't know if this was going to end up recovering these levels right here and going on some massive short squeeze all the way up to the $200 mark. And so I had to just unload. I had to unload. I hated it. Didn't want to start the day down $900, but I had to take these shares off. And this was something we were talking about in the live stream today. Sometimes that's a tough bullet to bite. That's a really hard thing to do. That's a tough pill to swallow, however you want to put it. It was a tremendously difficult thing for me to do. But I had to do it, and I knew that I still had half my shares on the table. I still had half my shares to see through this move here. And this was still the move that I was banking on. I really thought to myself, this short squeeze is over. I mean, look at this run up. Look at this run up. We ran up from $131 all the way up to $183. We ran up $50 in pre-market. And this was just a bunch of light volume. It was a short squeeze. This was a short squeeze. And again, I'm so surprised that it didn't come down, at least back down to the 150s levels. And the only reason I held on to half of my shares was because, again, fundamentally, this stock should have been weak. Fundamentally, there was no reason for Wayfair to have been bought up like this. No reason at all. And I could just see this coming down. Okay, and it did. It ended up coming down, and what I ended up doing is adding to my position even more. And then as it came and got the breakthrough here, I sold some. I let it kind of ride this 9 EMA. I added again at the drop, at the break of this critical level right here, and then took profit here, and then I took a little profit here. I guess I got out some of my shares break even here, and then I took. No, actually, I got out break even here, and you can't really see it, but there's a little red circle behind this green circle here. I went short again here, took profit, basically break even on the first bit, and then took profit a little bit here, and then took profit down here, and then took the rest off break even here. Okay, and I didn't, and I traded it, let's see, 2 more times. I traded once here. I got in for the break of VWAP, took profit down here, and then up here when it looked like it was popping back, and I'm glad I got out. And then I took another scalp here, and I wish I had held on to it. We were clearly getting the drop here, but it was just, I don't know, 25, maybe 50 shares, I don't know, but just got a quick drop, but I really wish I had held on to it. But here's what happened, and this is where this drop came from. The S&P 500 all of a sudden just started tanking hard. It just started tanking really hard. And so I think what happened is Wayfair and a lot of other stocks just kind of started catching fire with that and just kind of following the SPY. So yeah, guys, I mean, really, this, to have started down $900 by having to remove half my shares and being able to end the day up over $112 and up over $200 on Wayfair, I do feel like I managed it well. Again, taking small 25 share positions all the way up here. And you can see, I mean, it just resolved nicely, and even giving me opportunities to add back to it on its way down. But I tell you what, guys, if I had not taken these half my shares off the table here, I mean, we would have ended the day up $400 or $500 easy, and I would have been done there. I wouldn't have even taken this trade on CHGG. But I'll tell you what, guys, the struggle continues. The struggle continues. I feel like it's been weeks now since I've had any kind of really nice move in the markets. I missed the $400, $500, $600 days, guys, and hopefully we'll be able to start ushering some of those in here in as the weeks continue. But I feel like I have been getting the hang of this market, and I'm enjoying it. I'm also still kind of going in the simulator here from time to time. You can see here actually got a really nice move. Somebody called on BYND. Let me just kind of pull this out here. You can see I actually took a move on BYND, shorted all the way up to here, and then took profit here. Let's see, this simulator works a little bit differently, but you can see, so I made $119 there. And then on Wayfair in the simulator, there were some times where I wanted to take trades on Wayfair, but I didn't feel good about them, so I came in here in the simulator and I just thought, let me just practice, let me just see what would happen here. I saw how this had popped up through all these levels, but it was weak. It was weak. There was no kind of major volume backing this move here, so it ended up coming down, and then I took another short here and another short scalp here. So you know, made 184 bucks there. But you know, here's the thing, guys. I'm not going to go over the simulator trades, but you can see I do a lot better in simulation. I do a lot better in simulation. Even CHGG made 100 bucks on that in simulation. So, but anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments what you traded today, and you know, how well you were able to do on them. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and consider joining us on the live stream. We stream live right here on the channel Monday through Friday beginning around 9 a.m. You guys have a good evening. Take care.